Okay, so good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Pinnacle People Solutions weekly webinar. This week, we are delighted to have three fantastic small business owners in our regions who have joined us this afternoon to talk with us about their businesses and their whys, why they're in business and what gets them out of bed every morning, continuing to make the wonderful contributions that they make to regional communities. So this is part of our celebration of small businesses and their contributions to regional and rural communities in anticipation of Small Business Month, which of course starts tomorrow. And we're going to be running a series of webinars across Small Business Month that are back to basics to help our small business colleagues to better be prepared for and have their ducks in a row in terms of their HR obligations. So we'll look forward to getting into that as Small Business Month progresses. But we thought, what a fantastic way to kick off on the eve of Small Business Month and to be talking to some fantastic small business owners in our region and to be celebrating the contributions that they make. So I'm going to start by asking each of my wonderful colleagues to introduce themselves and to let us know what their business does. And then we're going to get into some of the questions about the whys of why they do what they do. So let me start with the wonderful Meg Georkas.
Oh,
good morning, Meg.
Hi, Bron. Hi, everyone. So my name is Meg Georkas. I live in Armidale and with my husband own a real estate business called Hutchinson and Harlow Real Estate. We are a specialist sales only real estate, so we don't have a property management or strata section.
Fantastic, Meg. Thank you so much. And next, I would like to introduce Amy Kelly. Amy.
Hello, Bron. Thank you so much for the opportunity to participate. I'm the founder of Big Sky Relocations and I'm based in Tamworth, and I provide support to individuals, couples and families moving to Tamworth with personalised information and some really great logistical and practical support to get them settled very quickly. I'm sort of marketing myself, I guess, as a value add to employers to help them attract the best candidate to the job, because we know that it can be challenging encouraging people to move to regional areas and I can help with that. And then once they come, we can help with retention, so getting them settled in the community and also their trailing spouse and family, which is often the key to get them to stay.
Fantastic, Amy. Thank you so much for that introduction and welcome this morning. And Jo Lysaght.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jo Lysaght and I'm one of the owners of Lysaghts Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. And we're celebrating 50 years this year, since Bronwyn and Ken Lysaght started the business back in 1970. And why we do what we do, we provide comfort. And it's nice to provide comfort. We do domestic air conditioning and small refrigeration repairs, and that's our specialty. My other side gig is my new skin anti-aging skincare and nutrition side, which is beautiful because I get to help people feel how they want to feel and look how they want to look, and that's a lovely thing to do too.
Fantastic, Jo. Thank you so much. And hey, congratulations on the 50-year anniversary this month. That is sensational. So what have you guys been doing to celebrate that? That's a huge contribution to Tamworth.
So far, we haven't actually done anything. We've been busy, keeping up with, I think if we hadn't had COVID and we hadn't had such a big change in our operations, we may have had a little bit more time to put towards a celebration of sorts. We will do an announcement, maybe next month, but we've just been busy doing what we need to do in the COVID times to keep everything, keep all the plates spinning.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so Meg, talk to us about the why for Hutchinson and Harlow. So you mentioned that you guys are property only specialists.
We did, sorry, my internet, again, benefit of COVID, working from home, and my internet sometimes freezes. So sorry if I look a bit stunned every now and then.
All good.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I work in the business because it's a family business. My husband is a sales agent and is one of the best sales agents in Armidale. And I guess my why kind of bounces onto his why. He does it because he loves it. And I guess I do it because I love our business, and I love that, you know, I can help make our business successful. And it allows him to then do what he needs to do without having to think about really anything to do with the business. Our why is also because we love when people love the houses they live in. And it kind of comes down to that simple thing, which really has come to the forefront this year. You know, the meme going around, you know, can you see yourself quarantined in this house? Rings true, because that's kind of what it is. We're spending so much time at home, and you really want that place to be something that you love. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Meg, can you talk to us about, there's lots of discussion at the moment about, which will impact everybody, of course, in this discussion, about regional relocation. And people asking themselves that very question, you know, are these the four walls you really want to be living in sort of moving forward? And we've started to see some statistics about, you know, property clearance rates and so forth really starting to surge. So can you, in regional areas, can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I think where we've seen the biggest impact isn't necessarily through people realising that they can live in a really lovely regional location and still maybe commute or work from home. We're just that little bit too far from the city centres. But what we're seeing more so is with the restrictions of travel and restrictions through the borders, families being separated. And we've had quite a lot of our sales coming through where, you know, in 2 or 3 years' time, maybe mum and dad, or maybe it was the kids, always intended to be closer to family, and that's what's driving a lot of our sales at the moment. It's that sort of decision of going, we don't like not being able to see each other, we don't like not being able to be restricted from our families. We're going to make the change now. Our other sort of, I guess, client group that we've seen is more retirees who, again, probably always intended to move. It's just been brought forward.
Sure.
And they are ones that are coming out of the city who, you know, asset rich, cash poor. They can sell a property in the city markets for sort of, you know, 1 to 2 mil and come out to a regional centre and spend a quarter of that and be able to be in a centre where the restrictions aren't so fierce.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, Amy, talk to us about, you're a relatively new business. And you and I have had a number of conversations about the significance of really helping individuals and their families and partners where they might be joining them as well to really get a good flavour for a regional area to attract people, and also to maintain that strong support for probably up to 12 months after somebody has actually relocated. So talk to us about the motivation behind your business.
Thanks, Bron. Look, I've been living in Tamworth or in the region on and off my whole life, and I love it. I'm really passionate about the area. And I kept, over having 3 children and being in parks and meeting different people at the school gates, I kept having these conversations with usually the trailing spouse who would come along. Their partner had got a job here, and the partner had instantly got a job community. They had friends, they had an in there. And this trailing spouse had done all the work to get here, all the trauma of the move, the research, you know, the very generic Googling research, cookie cutter information they were finding to make these decisions of where to live, what schools to go to. They arrive and they just don't find their groove. They don't find their community. They find it cliquey. They find it, you know, they can't find the information they're after. And, you know, I'd see them, and then a couple of months I'd be like, well, where is that lovely person that I spoke to? No, they're gone. They pressured their partner, they weren't comfortable, they've moved back to a metro area or back to where they came from, or somewhere else where they thought there might be more opportunities. There are so many wonderful opportunities in Tamworth to get involved in the community, and this is really about making those social and professional connections really quickly so that they get their groove, they get their community, they find their people. I mean, no matter what you do in metro areas, you can really find similar like-minded people here. We're a dynamic community, we're a multicultural community. So I guess my passion is about, first of all, if you're thinking about moving to Tamworth, I can help them. You know, we survey the whole household, and we can put together this local life manual that says, these are the 3 suburbs we think would suit you. You know, your partner doesn't drive, you need to be near public transport. These are the doctors that are taking new clients, all after school activities for your kids, stuff for you to do, wonderful towns to visit. And then they can make that decision and go, actually, yeah, you know, I have applied for this position in Tamworth. I think our family will be able to thrive there. So that helps them make those great decisions so that they're not, yes, they've taken the job, they've moved here, but they haven't made really inappropriate decisions right from the start. They've made educated, well-resourced decisions.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then we help them, you know, guided orientation visits. We can help them, you know, find somewhere to live. We can liaise with real estate agents to help them get, you know, after hours FaceTime inspections, which is kind of important at the moment when you can't actually cross the border to get here. It's just trying to make sure that they're well supported and they've got all the info that they can really find their groove.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can certainly say, working in the recruitment space, which is part of what we do, that wraparound support for people who are going to be relocating into regional areas, whether it's on their own or whether it's with a partner and or a family, is absolutely critical to retention.
Yeah,
and
that's
also,
the thing, the retention. We want them to stay, and the stickability. We talk about stickability, and trying to put in as much as we can so that they do stick, because, you know, we all know how much it costs to rehire.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay, so Jo, you mentioned that that one of the key whys for Lysaghts is to bring people comfort, which just, that just is, and I would totally agree. Sitting in my office here with the lovely heating running, so talk to us about that. What's your favourite thing about the services and contribution that Lysaghts make?
The favourite thing I love about our business is I'm in partnership with Stephen Lysaght. We own the business together. We're a small group. We have 3 technicians, and I have Cecilia in the office helping me as well. But we're a nice small family kind of group, and we all get on well. They're all family men, the boys we have. And then we get to go out and basically we fix problems. So if the air conditioner's not working properly, you can either clean it or repair it. If it's really old, you can replace it. More than likely you'll save on your energy bills if you do replace it, if it's particularly old. But we get to bring people, just peace of mind that, oh, well, this wasn't working, it was always terrible, now it's going great, now we're comfortable, because people are spending a lot more time in their home. And I know lots of industries have had busyness in the home, decorating and home renovation and gardening renovations that people are doing. And once the confidence kind of came back into, we didn't see any confidence in our market until around about May and June. So for March and April, it was cold turkey. We had to keep checking the phones. We actually thought the phones had dropped out because it just didn't ring. And we're like, really zero work for 2.5 months came in. Then there was a bit of confidence, and people started getting used to their new normal of working where they're working and isolating where they're isolating, that sort of thing. So I went, oh well, let's do this. So that's my favourite thing, is we're a nice bunch of people and we go out and we help a nice bunch of people feel better in their homes usually. Yeah. Which is
Fantastic. Sensational. So I'm going to ask each of you ladies to share what are your top 3 favourite things about living in a regional area?
Oh.
Anybody can start.
Well, I know my top 3 favourite, well, I know my very one top favourite thing is it's like the best of rural with the best of what a big regional town can offer. But we're very, very close to, and when I say rural, I mean the rural culture and the rural personalities. And I just love that. I think Tamworth's got great facilities for music and for sports and whatever your kids are coming through in high school and they want to do more of. Yes, they might have to go away for tertiary education, but Tamworth offers a lot without big city angst or whatever comes with living in a big city. That's my favourite thing about this region.
And what about your second and third favourite things?
Sorry, were you speaking too loud, Ron?
That's okay. Sorry, Amy, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just saying I completely agree with Jo. I was nodding.
So what's your favourite thing, Amy?
Look, yes, I totally agree with Jo. I think the thing with Tamworth, I grew up out near Moree and had a lot to do with Tamworth in my younger years. And the difference, actually, I don't know if Jo will agree with me, the difference between, say, Tamworth in the early 90s, the end of the 80s to now has just been extraordinary. Like, it is just the diversity in the faces, the diversity in the experiences available. We are only, I mean, you can jump in the car after work and be at the coast before the fish and chip shop closes. I mean, we're so wonderfully placed for that. Usually we've got these wonderful 50-minute flights coming and going all day, and that will get back to normal, I'm sure, soon. But the facilities too. I think, a lot of credit Tamworth Regional Council has got some really fantastic things happening now. They've got their Blueprint 100, which is a roadmap towards working towards 100,000 people and how we're going to attract those, and also infrastructure projects, sporting projects. There's some really amazing things happening, and I'm quite excited to be living here at the moment. I open the paper and I'm like, wow, okay, there's that new business, or there's those new people, and that's I really am feeling passionate about our local small businesses, our government organisations being able to go, hey, we live in this great region. You don't want to live in Metro anymore. You can live wherever you want to live and work there. Why not come here? We're hot to trot here in Tamworth. Armadale's awesome too, our friends. But Jo and I are trying not to be smug about being Tamworthians. But if you want to move to Tamworth, I can help you.
Oh, bless. So, look, it's so great to see you both so passionate about where you live. I mean, that is such a huge deal. I'm going to throw to Meg now before I come back to myself, because I was not country born and bred, and so I have a very different perspective, perhaps. But Meg, what's your favourite thing about?
Yeah, so I am born and bred. Armadale is the only city that I've lived in, and I guess I've always had that attitude of I don't need to live somewhere else to know that this is where I want to live. Where I'm sitting at the moment, I'm sitting at home doing this, and I'm looking out on 10 acres and I'm 5 kilometres from my office. And I love that. I love that if I felt like I really wanted to, I probably could walk to work and still live in a regional place. I'm, 15 minutes from the edge of the national parks, which are World Heritage. So mine's more about the space that I'm in more than anything else. And, so similar to Tamworth, close proximity to the coast, easy flights to regional cities when they come back. But I think probably my favourite thing is just the community. It is that the diverseness in community, but I love walking down the street and pretty much everyone. You know, we went out to dinner on Friday night. It was just a quick decision to go out, and literally knew everybody at every table. And so it was the sort of the same as if everyone had actually come to our house and had dinner, because everyone just took a hold. It was just that sort of thing. You could only get that really in a small country city. Sadly, we don't open the paper because I think we only have, is it once a week now, which is a bit sad. Our council is self-destructing, so that's also quite unfortunate. But I've got great hope that the main business community, and when I say main business community, I mean our locally owned small business owner-operators, are determined to make our town work. And I support that, and I'm one of those people, and I just keep talking the talk and just talking positive. And I'm just sort of a great believer in, you keep talking it, and it will happen. Unfortunately, we have been surrounded by quite a lot of negative news within our retail space and within our council. Can't get it worse.
Yeah, look, we're gonna keep being absolutely optimistic. Yep. So okay, so I'm a city girl originally, Sydney born and bred, and I made the move to regional on the toss of a coin in 1991, and ended up raising 2 kids in regional and never, ever, ever looked back. So I wouldn't want to live in a metro city again. And one of the things that I love most about our business is that we are very much wanting to contribute to the sustainability and growth of regional communities. That's our why. And we figure if we are one employer at a time, if we can help those employers be better employers, more productive, more profitable, staff happy, career opportunities, then that is going to contribute to the sustainability and growth of regional communities. And I've had the privilege to work with a whole range of different organisations, particularly in the last 18 months on the back end of drought, bushfires, and then COVID. And the resilience is just phenomenal. It absolutely is. Each and every one of you is here today fronting businesses that you absolutely have a passion for, that you are absolutely committed to, and that the impact that you're having in your communities is absolutely foundational and substantial. So hats off to each and every one of you. I absolutely love living regional, and probably the biggest reason for that is that everybody cares. I'm not saying they don't care in metro, but I know my neighbours, and my neighbours ask about my kids who don't live in this region at the moment, but they grew up around them, so they ask about them. And when I go downtown, you know, there's people who are asking after me and the kids, and people. And I mean, okay, so there are some times where you might choose to go and do your shopping at, 11 o'clock at night at Coles rather than at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, because you may not want to take a little bit longer to do your groceries perhaps. But you can make those choices. But I've made some phenomenal friendships, and my kids have had the most amazing opportunities. In fact, I was able to give them so much more opportunity living and working in Armidale than I ever could have done had I been in Metro, especially as a sole parent from the time they were quite small. So the education, sporting, music, all the things that Amy talked about before have just been second to none, really. And we're very fortunate in Armidale to be known, I guess, as an education city. So all forms of education up here, whether it's public, private, Catholic, you name it, the standard is phenomenal. I'm very privileged to be on the board of the New England Conservatorium of Music, which my daughter Jess benefited enormously from, one of the best regional cons in the country. And we have announcements will be being made later today. We've just appointed a new CEO, which is so incredibly exciting. And I can't wait to see how that organisation evolves. So I think that's one of the other things I love too, is that being able to be part of the community in meaningful ways from a volunteer perspective, as well as having a business in the community. And certainly what I found in the areas that we have clients, and of course our head office is based in Armidale, but we've got clients all over regional Australia, and we have a lot of clients down in Tamworth and in the Northwest. And the thing that I absolutely have loved from a business perspective is that everybody has opened their arms. You know, my business didn't start until 2013, so I'm more of a newbie on the block in that sense, certainly compared to Jo's 50-year stint. But the thing that I've loved is that people have wanted to help me, and have wanted to engage and help and plug us into, you know, people and services and supports to help our business grow and thrive. And I have been immensely appreciative and grateful for that, and the people who really do care about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and want to see you thrive. And I think that's certainly a common theme that I've heard from all three of you this morning. You want to contribute to that thriving, but you've also got other people around you as part of a wider community who are keen. You're keen to help thrive, and are keen to help you do the same. So can I ask, just on that note, all of you obviously are making substantial contributions in a business context. What are some of the ways that you love contributing to your community and communities in a non-work way, or in a non-paid work way? Let's put it that way. Jo, how about you?
Okay.
Well, for years and years, we were very, very involved in the soccer community, and we supported in that way a lot. Not just in sponsorship level, but, you know, contributing, and Stephen, my partner, was a coach for a lot of years, and coach soccer. It's the epitome of community when you're there with these same people over and over again, and it definitely became part of your lifestyle. Westpac Rescue Helicopter is something that's special to our heart as well, and we support them as often as we can. There are other things that we get involved in. We get invited a lot of times to sponsor this and sponsor that, but we really try to stick to things that are contributing to our community. So that'd be our two favourite things. There's probably others, but they're not coming to mind right now. But
Thank you, Jo. That's sensational. How about you, Meg?
Personally, for me, I am a Rotarian, so I sit on the board of my Rotary Club. This year I am in the position of vocation. I'm also on the board with our local Westpac Rescue Helicopter group. We haven't been able to meet, and obviously we weren't able to do a ball or anything, same as the Tamworth group, which was very unfortunate for this year. I also am the leader of our local Days for Girls chapter. Days for Girls supplies washable menstrual products for women and girls in third world countries and other countries. And I also am a primary ethics teacher, so I volunteer once a week and take an ethics class at Benvenue. Good little group of kids who have very good minds and are really coming along with their critical thinking. As a business, yeah, we support a lot of different sports communities, clubs. Our boys play football and soccer. Yeah, so we've sort of always had that base within the town. Similar to what Jo said, it's not that we're necessarily picky, but we've sort of refined what we support over the years, in that it tends to be clubs or committees or groups that are more community-based rather than individuals or something like that. But yeah, our whole sort of value base, our ethos is based on community support, whether it be business or personal. So
Fantastic. And Amy?
Thanks, Bron. Look, knee deep in the three children. Always really wanted to, help out with the school fundraisers, and have really enjoyed that at a few different schools. I think the thing about what I want to do, and I'm a new business, so that I really admire the businesses that have got some years behind them that can financially or in kind help with local organisations, I'm all for that, and I'll be lining up for that once I get some more runs on the board. But I guess one of the main reasons too for starting my business is I love making connections between people. And I'm always, I'm a little bit of a have a chat in the cafes and the parks, and and I do love that. Oh, you like to do that? Oh, well, that person or that organisation would be good for you. And I guess, there's 2 parts or 3 parts of the business. I'm supporting people that are moving here to find their community. I'm helping businesses attract and retain those great people, but also it's such a win-win I see for our city to say we've got all these new residents coming in with their fresh ideas, their fresh experience, their enthusiasm, their wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready for regional living. And I can go, okay, well, you like blah, blah, blah. Well, let's send them off to First Flight Rotary, or let's send them off to, help volunteer with land care, or, let's really make those connections so that, every town, I think, are finding it hard to get volunteers. It's not like, 10, 20 years ago, you don't have, I guess I'm generalising, but the mums at home that can do a lot of the volunteering and the supporting in the community. People are working and they're busy and they've got so many conflicting interests. And so I see this as a real opportunity to kind of revive that as well, to go, you're moving here, you want to meet people. Isn't it great? You can also do something great for your new community and get involved. So that's where I'm hoping to make a difference personally and professionally in that space.
Fantastic. Oh, look, you are just all the most amazing women making the most amazing contributions to your communities. I'm so very grateful that you joined us this morning, and what a fantastic way for us to launch into Small Business Month, and with some fantastic examples of businesses in our regions that are making such an enormous difference to how we live and work and experience our lives in regional areas each and every day. So thank you so much, Amy Kelly from Big Sky Relocations, Jo Lysaght from Lysaghts Refrigeration and Air Conditioning, and Meg Georkas from Hutchinson and Harlow Real Estate. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. As you know, we do a weekly Monday morning COVID Live update here on Facebook. And so please join us next Monday for our next update. And we very much look forward to seeing you during Small Business Month, while we're helping support and grow regional communities and small businesses through what we can learn from each other. So thank you very much, ladies, for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it, and take care.
Thanks. Bye.